What's up, you guys? It's your boy Nick Torius, back again with another video. Today I'm doing a book review on one of my favorite books by David Deida. It's called The Way of the Superior Man. Basically, this book changed my whole perspective of life, right? Because I never really understood. Because basically, it's a book that teaches you how to be a man, right? It's a book that teaches you how to be a man, but it also teaches women as well. It's not only for men. It's also for women to understand their femininity, their place in the whole dynamic between masculine and feminine, as well as the men that they, like the man's role. So it's a good book for both men and for women, right? I've read it about 5 or 6 times. Mainly I listen to the audiobook. I've never read the actual book, but I mean it's the same shit. Basically, this book teaches about the polarity, right? When it comes to male and female, there's a polarity, right? Not male and female, but masculine and feminine. Like it explains how even in like gay, transgender, whatever relationships, there's always a masculine and there's always a feminine role, right? How everybody has their own masculine and feminine essences. Like whatever you're attracted to is because that's the opposite of you, right? So a man, like a masculine man, is attracted to a feminine woman, and a feminine man is attracted to a masculine woman, right? There's a lot of things I liked in the book. Basically, he goes over a lot of sexual things, right? Like not the sexual. Like it's funny because one time I was showing my homeboy the book, right? And I was like, oh, listen to what he says. And I was trying to go to like a part. Like it's a book that taught me how to breathe, right? And it's funny because like right after I did acid, I saw everything breathing, right? And then that's when I found the book. Like I just stumbled upon it. And I was listening to it, and it's funny because he was explaining breathing, and I was like, oh shit, that's crazy, because I didn't realize how important breathing was, especially when I was on acid and I saw everything breathing. And it's funny because I'm showing my homeboy, and then it's like I'm trying to skip through everything, and everything was like orgasm, sex, sexual, or masturbation. And then he's like, what kind of book is this, dude? It was funny because it's like the book mostly talks about sex, but if you're a young man, like you're a young boy or whatever, and you're like trying to find your manhood, basically this is the book for you. It was explaining a lot of things that I was doing wrong, and one of the main things is that men are supposed to, it mostly explains about the dynamic between the world too, right? It's not just about women. It's not a book about how to attract women. It's a book about how to live in the world, basically, right? Like to be the superior man basically means how to conquer your world, right? Because we have like all these buildings, we have all these we have all these cities, boats, machinery, technology, you name it. It was all because men built it, right? Because the thing is like if you're a man who's not doing shit in the world, you're basically a useless, lazy man, right? You're a lazy, useless man because you're not out there getting it. You're not out there grinding, right? We need the gears to grind for the machinery to work, right? And we are the gears that grind it. That's why they say like, oh, I'm grinding. Because if you're just out here smoking weed, beating your meat all day, just eating fast food, you're not doing shit. What are you contributing to society? You're not doing nothing. So he basically explains how like the world is very unpredictable, and it's just like women, right? A woman is just like the world. A woman is like the entire earth, right? Just condensed into a body, right? That's how David describes it in the book. Basically, that's what he's saying. He's basically saying that like the world is just a crazy place, but as long as you have a smile on your face and you keep going through it one day at a time, you're just like you don't really give a fuck, and you're chilling, right? Like this morning I was actually watching this show, right? It was on Hulu. It was called You're the Worst, right? And it's funny because I saw it was like the first episode, I think, for like first or second episode, and the girl was she really liked this dude because he was like real funny and whatever, and then he ended up just one night standing her, and then she goes to her other nigga, right? And she finds out that her other nigga sucks because she's like, oh, I burned down my school just to get out of a math test. And her other nigga's like, what the fuck? Why would you say that? Why would you tell me that? That's horrible. Right? And he's like acting all emotional and shit. And like, and she's like, this dude sucks, right? But then she goes to the other nigga who finally calls her back, and she's like, oh, I burned down my school. And he's like, oh, that's brilliant. Because he's like British and shit. So, and then she's like laughing because she's like, okay, I really like this guy. Because the thing is like the first dude, he's all like he's all like taking it too serious, right? He's like, oh my goodness, that's such a horrible thing. He's like being all emotional, right? Like he's judging her basically. He's like being a real bad, like big judge on her. But then dude is like the dude she likes, he's like, I don't give a fuck that you did that shit. That's funny as fuck. You know, like that's a horrible thing, you know, but he just don't really care. My bad, the lights bright. What else does the book talk about? You should really read it. It's really good. I always listen to it. A lot of times I listen to it in the woods too, because when I listen on Audible, and on Audible, they have homeboy talking, and it feels like real mystical, right? It feels like a real mystical book when you listen on Audible. Yeah, on Audible, the narration is really good too, because they have a man with a real deep voice. And for dudes that are like coming up, my nigga, bruh, why are you not going, dog? Light's green, stupid. But yeah, for if you're trying to get motherfucker, that's so asshole. That's so ass, bro. Nigga wasn't going. Maybe run on the red fucking lane. Anyways, yeah. So if you're trying to get a deep voice, the dude that reads it has a real deep voice too. I think his name's like Cecil Archibald or some shit. But yeah, it's a really good book. It's really easy to listen through. I listened to it a bunch of times. I recommend you to, if you're like trying to find answers in your life. Definitely search it out. I'll let you I'll let you figure out the rest. But with that being said, like this video. Let's get it to 2,000 likes. Comment what your thoughts are if you want me to get to you. If you have any questions, I'll answer in another video. Subscribe if you're new, and with that being said, catch you guys later. Peace.